Welcome back again. All right, for this last segment, we'll look at defamation suits and protecting minors online. Once again, here are AIM's recommendations.
Thirdly, the protection of minors against risks such as access to illegal and inappropriate material, online sexual predators, cyberbullying, and addiction. Problems include a low adoption rate of internet service providers-based filtering. The MDA and the Ministry of Education have developed public education programs. However, these efforts are usually not sustained or coordinated with other agencies. AIMS proposed a series of recommendations, and among those are a focus on education to build a foundation for more informed and self-sufficient population, increase the use of filtering resources, encourage a spirit of volunteerism where cyber safety is tackled with community participation, lift a ban on 100 websites which give parents a false sense of security, and lastly, awarding immunity for online defamation to internet intermediaries. AIMS recognize that it is impractical for internet intermediaries to exercise much control over internet content. It is potentially a medium of virtually limitless international defamation, and claimants are more likely to bring action for defamation against borderline defendants. AIMS recommend that limited protection be conferred upon online content hosts who have acted in good faith. At the same time, this immunity should be subject to the obligation of the intermediaries to take down defamatory content on receiving a credible request from the allegedly defamed individual.
So very interesting. Defamation. Do you guys have any thoughts, anything to say about it? Like how, okay, defamation, like people are now very aware that, hey, if I say something online, even though I'm anonymous and let's say somebody tracks down my ISP, can I be sued for defamation? Let's say if I call Jamie on my blog, I call her like, suck, or something, So, yeah. So they are just worried about government bodies being in the case of...
Yeah, I think basically if you're the originator of a defamatory statement, you'll be liable whether you put it in print or on the internet or whatever else. I think, as an originator, you're always liable. There's no issue. But let's take the issue of intermediaries. In many ways, actually, the Straits Times are a perfect intermediary. Very often, people make comments that are defamatory. They're published in the Straits Times. And so the Straits Times also gets sued, even though the statement did not originate from the Straits Times, but there's republishing, so to speak. Now, this can happen on internet as well. You host a forum. Lots of people put comments on them. Some are defamatory. You may not be able to track these guys because they're overseas, but they can certainly track the guy who's hosting the forum. So should the person hosting the forum be liable? We say no. We want to encourage free speech. We want to encourage the development of the internet being a place for intelligent views. So we want to say for these people, the content hosts, if they take out something because they are told it's defamatory, leave them be. They shouldn't be brought to court and have to pay damages for defamation.
We should do some web comments because some of the comments are actually related to what we're talking about. Let's do Mummy68 first. She says, well, I feel that as long as I don't visit pedophile websites or sites that teach me how to build bombs, she's using it as an example, obviously, and as long as I don't make racist or insensitive remarks against anyone, I really should be left alone.
And then Aquarius says, I have a question but dare not ask now. What if I get regulated? Who would dare to say they want to say now that they are being monitored? Ever heard of Pavlov's theory?
What is Pavlov's theory?
That's a theory where, you associate pain or punishment with something, and then, you go back to bait, and then you sort of get conditioned to do certain things. So, if you get slapped on the wrist for, saying certain things, you just stop saying it.
Okay. Say Cheese says, if the government ever wants to come online to engage in any healthy interaction, they have to go a long way to gain trust from the public first. And then I like Suzanne New 90. It's true. She says, to be honest, I'm scared to say what I think right now because Razor TV requires phone number registration. So, technically, you guys can track me. So sad.
Yeah, so sad. Yeah, so, because I think the key to our registration is actually to have a database of, people that, we know are communicating with us. Razor rights.
I see.
And we give prizes too.
Okay, and it's not for tracking, basically, right?
Yep, it's not used for tracking. So actually, we have one more comment that's really long. Okay, let's quickly look through it. Little Kid says, posting issues, political ones especially, can be harmful and detrimental to the society if not done right. The problem with posting political issues over the internet is the lack of regulation that poster would do if in an objective manner. It is good to discuss political issues over the internet. However, such discussion may degrade into groundless accusations, claims, which can lead to misunderstanding. For example, if racial issues are brought up, but yet audiences are unable to interpret them in a critical manner, it can bring unwanted racial tension. These problems are further compounded by the fact that not all audiences on the net have the same level of education.
So basically his comment supports the fact that there should be a bit of regulation on the net, which is...
So there are pros and cons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So okay, we have to go soon. So any final word that you guys want to have?
I'd just like to say that very interesting that people talk about climate of fear and so on and so forth. Yeah. But yet, there are so many comments in the course of this 1 hour that are in a sense anti-establishment, possibly anti-government. So obviously, this climate of fear that we're talking about may not be as great as people make it out to be. I think that many of us here have made quite a number of statements that may not reflect the establishment view, and the fact that we can say it, I think means that we've come a long way.
True.
Okay.
I would say that there's indeed a lot of scope for the kind of engagement that Cheng Han had just described, but I think it would be wrong for us to ignore the fear that these viewers have. In fact, one person used the word paranoia. That if I'm prepared, if I want to say something critical, I'll do so anonymously. I think the fact that there is fear, this paranoia, is a fact of life that you have to acknowledge. It is sad, but I think we should work towards removing that fear, removing that culture of fear, removing that feeling of paranoia. And if we can all stakeholders, the public, the government, can work towards, a cyberspace, which is more hospitable, more habitable, where people can agree to disagree agreeably. I think we can gradually remove that climate
away
of
from
fear.
that. Okay, Jamie, as a blogger, do you have any final words as well?
Actually, I wanted to follow up on what Cheng Han said. It's true, the fact that we're allowing these comments to go live on air now and for the whole world to see means that, we are evolving, should I say, from back when I was 15, for example. I think
that was like yesterday.
No, 3 years ago,
yeah.
But, we are evolving as a society, and I think that as the years go by, as the internet gets even bigger, our government will always be also moving forward. So it's a good sign.
Okay.
Any last words from you, the main host?
No, I want to say thank you to all my esteemed guests and, of course, Jamie. So it's time for us to go. But a razorism for you? Oh, what a tangled web we weave. That's borrowed from the great Sir Walter Scott. So thanks for staying with us throughout this hour. We've enjoyed being point blank with you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.